Welcome back, Raider Nation. It has been a quick minute. Because the 2023 NFL season schedule has officially dropped, the Las Vegas Raiders, they've had quite the draw of the straw. The schedule drop is something that has been glamorized every year more and more. They entered the 2023 season with the sixth toughest schedule in the NFL, and their opponent's .524 winning percentage is the highest of the AFC West. There's always a lot people can read into and decipher when it comes to the schedule releases. Every single season, things stand out initially on how it is aligned within the schedule itself. But that's why I'm here to point out 3 gut reactions I got from the Las Vegas Raiders 2023 final schedule release. First, they got a weather-friendly schedule. As a Raiders fan during the Derek Carr era, one of the first things you look at is weather implications late in the year. There will forever be a cloud over Derek Carr and his ability to stink it up in cold weather games. You kind of cringe when you see a late November/early December game in Kansas City or Denver on the back half of the season. But this year was quite different. Literally their first 2 games are against the Broncos and the Bills, both of which who play in open roof stadiums and would be below freezing if they even sniffed the other end of Week 10. They fly out to Chicago in late October, which that will also be closer to a cool, brisk morning than anything dire or extreme. They also even get to hit Miami in mid-November, the flip side of the weather thing, which will be nice because they don't have to deal with any humidity or that crap part of the fall time, late summer when it comes to Miami heat. The only unfavorable game they have is the previously mentioned December game in Kansas City. Only difference? No Derek Carr. The game is also on Christmas Day, and anyone who remotely is a fan of football knows that there's nothing better than potentially having snow during a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day game. So, completely happy to be able to couple that with the final game against the Chiefs, division rival. Also, maybe battling a top spot in the AFC West. For that number 1, who knows? Number 2. Very bad bye week placement. I won't say very bad. I'll say bad. Just straight up bad bye week placement. I feel like this is something I complain about every year. The Raiders always seem to get screwed over when it comes to the bye week. You can pin it on the calendar. The Raiders will have a bye week in week 6 and have to go on a 10-game stretch, hopefully end the year strong. I don't know if it was something that was some sort of a recency bias, so I went back, checked it out. This is what I found. In the last 5 years, 3 of them have literally been a week 6 bye. The other 2 were week 7 and 8. You also have to go back 6 years before you get to a season where their bye week was on the second half of the schedule. For me, the sweet spot is from week 9 to 11. You have the first half of the season out of the way, you rest up, and then you take on the second half. Don't get me wrong. Week 13, definitely better than week 6. Definitely happy about that. But the Thursday night game against the Chargers is week 15, and the other 5 primetime games are before the bye week, which those cause short weeks. There's not much time for rest when it comes to the way all that pans out. The Thursday night game, you usually got 10 days before you play again. That doesn't come until after the bye. The Raiders also have the second latest bye out of all the teams in the NFL, so second to last when it comes to how late in the season their bye is going to hit. What does seem to level out the scales a little bit in all of that is the structure of their home games. 3 of the last 4 games before the bye are at home, and the first 2 after the bye are as well. So 6 weeks out of a 7-week stretch, the Raiders can stay home. They don't have to hop any planes, fly anywhere, which might make up for a hectic first half of the season. Number 3. We got a primetime bonanza on our hands. The Raiders were undoubtedly going to get a good amount of primetime games once again. With the Super Bowl being hosted in Las Vegas, the NFL wasn't going to miss a chance to be able to showcase their venue as much as possible. 4 out of their 5 primetime games are at home. The lone away game coming against the Detroit Lions on Monday night. The way they arranged it throughout the schedule is what was wild to me. In the first 10 weeks, the Raiders play 4 primetime games in an 8-game span. They sandwiched 2 Monday night games against the Packers in Week 5 and the Lions in Week 8, between 2 Sunday night games against the Steelers in Week 3 and the Jets in Week 10. Every year I've always been skeptical about the primetime games. It always seems like the Raiders create some type of momentum for a small stretch, get the media singing some sort of praise about how they're finally doing something leading up to a Monday night game. Then everyone proceeds to see us get waxed against the Chiefs in front of the whole nation, and we're right back to where we started. But when you have 2 Devontae Adams revenge games to highlight and a Raiders-Steelers rivalry that has been going on since the dawn of man, you got to do what you got to do.